Okay, here we are, White Rabbit Studio, for the first post-game show of the
Oh
year
yeah.
for Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and it went pretty well. We went over to Ireland,
Oh
and
yes.
this was the I think they said they've had 9 major football games in the history of Ireland,
Right.
where 9 major college football team games,
Games.
and they really love it over there. It seems to me like. And Seamus. Anyway, I'm JD, and this is
Killer B.
Killer B, JD and Killer B, coming to you from an undisclosed location. And so anyway, we found a pot of gold at the Rainbow there in Ireland today, and we beat the Free Shoes off of Free Shoes U.
All right.
I hate to be nasty, but
Right.
we whooped them pretty good, in my opinion.
Yes, we did.
And I enjoyed every minute of it, except for what the first.
First quarter, first drive
First,
they had. First drive they had.
That looked bad. I was because
Right.
you was refereeing a volleyball
Right.
game.
Right. Right.
How did that go?
It went great. It really did. Volleyball in the West Georgia area has picked up in the last 3 or 4 years. If you get a chance, everybody out there, just go check it out. I'm sure you'll like it. I'm sure you'll like it. Besides, you're not in the weather. You're inside. It's cool. It's fun. It's a whole lot of fun.
And is that boys volleyball or girls volleyball?
It's just girls around this area right now. I think maybe up in Atlanta where the bigger schools are, they might have a co-ed team.
Okay.
Or they might have boys volleyball, but out here it's girls.
Well, it's a great sport.
Oh, it is. It really is.
But anyway, we didn't come here to talk about volleyball. We come here to talk about Georgia Tech football. And I'm sorry, I just ramble. I'm a JD ramble, and I ramble. So I'll cut some of this out of the edit when we make it.
Right.
So, game assessment. What do you think?
Well, our offensive line has improved. I mean, it was just incredible. They were moving Florida State out of the way. They were literally moving them out of the way, and it gave our running backs and our quarterbacks plenty of time to get yardage. They were moving them. They were moving them like, actually they were pushing them back like they weren't even there. I mean, they were literally moving them, and you could tell. Even the ESPN announcers were talking about it. They were just amazed at how that the Tech offensive line was moving Florida State. You know, when Florida State's supposed to be this big, powerful team. You know, they're ranked number 10. We're not even ranked, which is that's okay. We went out and did what we needed to do to show everybody that they need to don't look over us. Get ready for us.
They better be ready.
Oh yes, definitely.
You think we're going to be in that 12 this time? You said last time we did
right.
this,
Last
at the end of the
game,
season, you said
yes,
we're going to be in that 12.
I believe it. I'm sticking to my guns. I don't care how many people want to quote me on. You can quote me if you want. It don't matter. Unlike George Bush, I'm going to say, read my lips. We will be in the 12.
We'll be in the 12. That don't mean we're going to win the conference title.
Right.
And it don't mean we're going to win a national title.
When it's over and said and done, when they go through the 12 teams, there you will see the Yellow Jackets.
In that 12.
In that 12.
And, you know, Brett Key has done one outstanding job.
Oh, yes.
And I forgive me for being gun shy, but we've had so many bad coaching
right.
Turnouts over the years.
Right.
That I just, you know, they wanted to come in there and he won a couple of games and did real well. They wanted to give him all that money. I was just like, no. Don't give it to him. Wait till he proves himself. But you know what I think now? It's time.
All right. It's time for what?
To give him some money.
All right.
Back the truck up in his front yard and pull the lever and just load it, put it on him.
All right. That sounds good.
He's to me, and he may lose the next game. He may lose the next 2 games.
Right.
But so far, he hasn't even been here 2 seasons.
Right.
2 full seasons.
2 seasons, right.
Right. He come in the middle of a disaster.
Oh, yes.
Cleaned it all up nicely.
Right.
Right. Impossible.
Exactly.
And then he took last season was okay.
Right.
Right. Which is that's fine. And then this season he started out in Ireland beating Florida State.
There you go.
That's a good team.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
They're
ranked number 10.
Yeah, and they deserve it too. They're a very good team.
Right.
And I was pretty proud.
Oh yeah. Me too. Coach Key, what he's done, which we've noticed because we love Tech football, that he's taken players that maybe have been on the practice squad, and they're playing now.
Yeah.
You know.
He's not playing that buddy ball.
That's right. No buddy ball. No buddy ball. Because some of the players he's got out there, I never heard of them, till like last year.
Yeah.
And they were on the practice squad, So that makes a big difference. And also the players they sold out to him. They brought into him.
They have.
Because my main thing is this: I call him a player's coach. He played at Tech as a lineman, and he just stands out. He goes out. Let's talk about this real quick.
All right.
He goes out in the crowd after the games, like today. He went up to the stands where the band was, the students were.
Yep.
You know, and he was cheering them on. You know, all the players, they were coming up. He's trying to do an interview, and all the players coming up hugging him. You know.
Yeah.
So that lets you know that he is something special to Tech, and the players, they love him. I mean, literally, they love him. You know, and he has definitely just made a big change. You know, he came in and made changes, which you have to do sometimes to win. You have to make changes. You have to, number one, stop playing buddy ball, which he doesn't.
He doesn't play that.
He does not play buddy ball at all.
No, Zach Pyron scored the first touchdown.
Right. You know,
backup quarterback.
Right. So that should tell you something there. You have a backup quarterback come in the game, score your first touchdown.
Right.
And that's real special.
And we were lucky to keep that kid. He's a good player.
Right, exactly.
You always got to worry about this quarterback situation with front man, back man.
Right.
You know,
right.
Players got egos.
Oh, yes, of course they do.
Yeah, they want to be starters.
Of course they do.
And we were able to keep him, and that's a testament to the coach right there.
Right, that's right, because you never know what can happen down the road.
He could have hopped in that portal and be playing
that's right.
somewhere else.
No, exactly. He
could be playing over at UWG, maybe.
Anywhere.
Georgia State.
To play.
Right.
To play.
That's
right. He could be anywhere, but he said, no, I'm going to stay right at home.
Yeah.
You know. And earlier in the summer, we had players that were going to leave Tech, but they decided to say, you know what, I'm going to stay here.
Yeah.
They had gotten the portal, then they got right out.
Yeah, jumped in, jumped out.
They see something. They see something.
They do.
They see something. I'm telling you, they see something, and they want to be a part of it when it happens. But Coach Key has just done a marvelous job.
Yeah, and I hope we can keep him.
Right.
That's one of the problems we've had in the past. You know, as we lose those top coaches that we've had. You know,
right.
The one that went to Notre Dame. You know, and then we lost Bobby Ross.
Right.
And we did lose Bill Curry to Alabama.
Yeah.
And it seems like every time we got a coach that was building the program,
right.
we'd see him leave.
Right. Exactly.
And then we'd backfill with somebody that would just go years and years and years.
Right.
And not win.
There you go. All right.
So
you're right.
Several names we can't even mention because
they were there.
They were banned. It was where these coaches' names are banned in the folklore.
Yeah. They were gone.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember all the names, but we had coaches that didn't even finish the year.
No, I'd take them completely out of Wikipedia. Out of Wikipedia. Coaching history, there'd be gaps. There'd be gaps in there.
Gaps. Right.
No
right.
name.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Unknown.
Right. It's like, who was that? But right.
But this kid, he's something special.
He really is.
And I hope we can keep him.
Oh, yeah.
And he loves Georgia Tech. He loves the players. He loves the fans.
That's it.
And, you know, Georgia Tech doesn't have many fans.
Right.
Compared to Georgia.
Right.
And Georgia's got all the fans. And,
right.
You know, you got a few Tech fans here and there, and they're a tight bunch, and they follow Georgia Tech.
Right. That's right.
Win or lose.
Yes, we do. Yeah, yes, we do.
Georgia's got a lot of fans that they're good. They're lifelong fans.
Right.
They got a lot that are fair weather fans.
Right.
Too, because they're the predominant university in the state as far as sports
right.
goes.
Exactly. They are.
They've always had the best players. Bobby Dodd will tell you that. If you look at what he used to say to the, you know, when he made talks and everything, he said, Georgia just gets better boys. This is his words.
Okay.
Georgia just gets better boys than Tech. And he said, if you come out there with a winning season and get a bowl game at Georgia Tech, then you're doing good.
Right.
But we've come to expect more because we know we can get more.
Right.
One thing I'd like to see is more fans in the stands.
There you go.
And Zach and Alexis and Marshall and Donna, my nephew, my son and daughter-in-law.
Right.
My nephew and his wife, Donna.
Okay.
And TJ and a lot of that posse that goes with us to the
tailgate. Right.
Yeah, they're over in Ireland right now.
Right. Okay.
Watching the game. And so he said that he felt small that there was just a huge number of Florida State fans.
Right. Okay.
And he said they were just outnumbered like 10-1.
Okay.
And I wish that we could have a better following and a better fan base. And it kills you to look up in the stands over there and see them all empty.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, it was a bad year last year. I mean, year before last.
Yeah, right.
And the year before that was even worse, and we'd look and there'd be nobody. We said, why not?
Right.
Because I told you about my friend Mitchell Garner.
Mr. Garner. Okay.
Mitchell Garner. His dad was GPI. Mitchell used to get to go down on the sidelines and watch Tech games on the sidelines.
Okay.
And then his Boy Scout troop used to be ushers in the stands up at Tech. They'd be ushers and that kind of stuff. And so he became a Georgia Tech fan.
Okay.
Now, Mitchell, I'm sorry to out you like this, buddy, because I know you sit there and watch them Georgia games with Elaine, and she's a fine woman, retired school teacher and all that. And I you know, I feel you, and you enjoy watching those games, those Georgia games. But don't tell anybody. he's Georgia Tech fan.
Tech fan. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's what we need, because we look up and see those empty stands. We're right there in downtown Metro Atlanta. You know, 2/3 of the population of Georgia lives within 50 miles of Atlanta.
Right.
Why don't we have kids in those stands?
Well, what do you maybe suggest to do something about
well,
that?
we've talked about that before, but they ought to be some kind of mentorship program with kids all over Atlanta to go out and pick the ones that maybe care a little bit about STEM, or maybe they don't care about science and technology yet, right? And just put them in the stands and just have a teacher, coach, or somebody be a chaperone for them, and just go. We'll just give them the tickets, and let the local school give them a bus or a ride, or we can pay for it,
whatever,
you know, and put them in the stands, and give them a hot dog and a Coke. You know, don't come out here and say, here's your bottle of water, son, $3.
Right.
You know, give them a bottle of water. Give them a Coke. Give them a hot dog. It won't cost you nothing.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So that's what we'd like to see, and it you know, fans get developed from a very early age.
That's right.
Because
I know I did. I know.
Yeah, I did too, and my son did.
Right.
And that's the way you build a fan base, is you start with the young kids.
Right.
So I'd like to see us do more of that. And we've talked about this several times. We've just never done nothing about it, you know. But anyway, what's next on our list?
Let's see here. Going back to getting the fans, okay. Do you think there's something that maybe we can do as individuals, me and you or anybody else? Is that you think there's something that we can do to maybe try to get Georgia Tech, so to speak, or any college really to get this thing started back up? Because I see what you're saying. Going to the Tech games when I go every year with you, I see this. The seats are empty everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we probably could. We have to put some time into it.
Right.
And somebody's got to spend some money on it.
Right.
And you got to get a lot of people to help.
Right.
But I mean, you know, there's people out there that believe, you know.
Right, of course.
And you know, there's a lot of people out there that's got a lot of money. You and me ain't necessarily them.
Right. There you go. You go.
We ain't poor, but we ain't rich.
By any means, you go.
By any means. But yeah, man, I think we should give that a revisit. I made a few phone calls a couple of years ago, and I just didn't follow through.
Okay.
You know, and I got a little bit of interest in it, but somebody's got to drive it.
Yeah.
But you know, we'd like to see those stands full.
Right, of course.
Every game.
And I would love to be a part of something like that. You know, not for no accolade or nothing, but to help. You know.
Because that's where your heart is.
Right, exactly.
It's like that Seamus guy said from Ireland. He was on I'm not the biggest ESPN fan. It's a great network. But I was watching Seamus, you know, the guy from Ireland. I don't know. I don't know him from.
Yeah, he's a wrestler.
Yeah, okay. But Seamus, he said before the game, there's a couple of them, and you know, the Alabama coach, what was his name, Nick
Saban.
Yeah, he picked Georgia Tech, and the rest of them picked Florida State by a lot, except for Seamus. And Seamus says, he says, my brain is with FSU, but my heart is with Georgia Tech.
All right, man. Wow.
So he said, I'm going with Tech. And that's where we are. You know, your brain might tell you you're going to lose by 20.
Right.
But your heart tells you you're going to win by touchdown.
Well, well, that's what we saw out there.
Field goal. Yeah, heart.
That's what we saw. Heart.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We saw heart.
And that'll beat a lot of good teams.
No, that's right.
But all of them picked Georgia to be number one. Every single one of them. Yeah. So when we close this thing out, I would like to know, and this is official, okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you have any words to say to any of our Georgia friends out there?
To hell with Georgia. I said what I said. Y'all have a good day.